just go live now and just shoot the shit with everybody. What's up, folks? Just went live because I saw there's a shitload of people in the comment section, so they want to keep you guys waiting, and we're still waiting for Kirby, and we're gonna have Adam Woods, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll have Adam Woods here in a minute, talking some MMA, talking some coronavirus, all the shit. So, again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining, welcome to the Keyboard Warriors. Oh, here we go. What's up? What's up?
Hey, what's
Yo,
good?
Sideways there, bro.
Yeah, apparently I'm all sideways. Yeah. What's good? How are you guys?
Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Woods, welcome to the show, sir.
What's good, party people? Thank you for having us. I mean, me or us. Apparently I'm bearing a child or something.
There you go. Hey, speaking of party people, I saw your post from the radio, LA radio. Those dudes got fired. Did they get fired on the air, or they got fired beforehand?
So the word on the street is they actually got fired as of last night. Everybody on the Kevin and Bean. Well, it's 7 in the morning. Bean left in November, and they pretty much all got personal phone calls. Everybody that was on the show, that they were essentially fired right then. So they gave Kevin like maybe 3 minutes on the radio where he kind of lit into the K-Rock management. So that was pretty cool. But I mean, that's the reason why I do the, hey, what's good, party people. That's direct homage to them. So it's a sad day in LA.
Yeah. No, dude, I saw your thing because I used to work in radio too, and I know what it's like to get that phone call. It fucking blows. So I was like, damn, they actually let him get on the air the next day. Well, he was there forever though.
30 years.
Yeah.
30 years, yeah.
Yeah, 31 years. And I think they Kevin and Bean started the morning show in 90. Damn. So I mean 31 years on the air, and just unceremoniously kicked off. And I heard that Ted Stryker is actually filling in for them. They're the drive time DJ, which it's weird. I mean, he's one of the OGs. Him and Nicole Alvarez are kind of the OGs on that show. I mean, on that station. So they're the last of the Mohicans, but I still don't know how to feel about Stryker coming in.
Yeah, weird. Yeah, we'll see. People get used to it. As much people want to like boycott, and I'm not gonna listen to the station no more. They change fucking real quick. You know how it is. They forget about us real quick.
Real quick, are we not going to address the porn star that joined the show here?
I was about to. So, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, what happened? Did you lose a bet, or you just got bored, or what?
No, listen, I ain't taking no chances with this Corona shit, Jack. I had to change the Corona catcher. That motherfucker.
For real?
I mean, kinda. Like, really, I was ready for a shave, but on some real shit, that y'all keep fucking around. Daddy Fred ain't fucking around. Y'all ain't gonna catch me as a statistic.
Fuck all that. This gets cleaned every day, bro. Hardcore cleaning. I take too much time on this because I cut my hair so low. I don't have any on my head, so I gotta take care of what I got. Anyway,
damn.
Anyway, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're the Keyboard Warriors, presented by RipTheWarriors.com. My name's Eddie. That's Jesse. That's Fred. Joining us today, Adam Woods. On this hashtag quarantine MMA. What the fuck is going on right now? You guys, first of all, I'll start here with Adam. I know you're in Cali, right? Just like Jesse. So, what's it like for you right now?
So, I mean, the first real casualty on the MMA scene was the fact that Lights Out, Sean Merriman's promotion, I was literally headed to weigh-ins. No, I had actually arrived to Commerce Casino for weigh-ins, and I was like, whoa, there's nobody here. And then I checked out their IG, and right as I was parking, like 12 minutes before I actually entered, it was like, yeah, until further notice, we've pretty much canceled Lights Out. And then I got a text from Dave Denkin of Camo, the amateur league out here in California. And he was just like, coming from Andy Foster, he basically said everything in that CSAC governs, the State Athletic Commission governs, is pretty much off the dockets until at the least April 2nd. So that's, I mean, Lights Out. Sparstar had a big show going on. That I just heard King of the Cage, their Ontario show at Toyota the Toyota Center or Toyota Arena out in Ontario. That also got canceled. So it's just stuff is getting canceled left and right. I mean, the UFC played to empty arena in Brazil last Saturday, and it seems like that was the last of a dying breed because it seems like everything is just getting canceled. Hopefully, Tony and Habib doesn't get canceled, but
come on now.
Yeah,
like, what are they talking about? Africa? Is that what they're talking about right now?
Man,
the moon.
Listen, goddamn.
The moon be dope.
Let me. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but we can get right stuck into it.
Go ahead.
All y'all out there that want that Tony fucking Habib fight, y'all better cancel it. Get used to the fight. Like that. I know they canceled these next 3 events. I had a fucking news story for y'all. They probably gonna be canceling events till motherfucking June.
Right.
Like, maybe longer. Like I hold no fucking solace in telling y'all this, but like real talk, there's no fucking way we get Tony Habib. What is it, April 13th?
April 18th, something like that. I don't even know anymore. I guess I forgot about the date because I didn't want to jinx it. And
Bro, they tried to hold an event like for this Saturday or because last Saturday was Brazil, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this Saturday, they tried to do that shit on a fucking Indian fucking reservation casino, and they couldn't pull that. This shit ain't getting no better, bro. These little punk ass kids I got ain't going back to school. We ain't getting Tony Habib. Like, it's gonna be a while. I ain't saying that y'all should go buy all the guns and bullets, but as far as us getting nice things on TV to watch, like it's a wrap for that for a while, dog. Like, I mean, might as well just get used to it. Like, there ain't no sense to be like, well, maybe they'll find a spot in Zamunda. No, that shit ain't happening, boys.
Fred, are you sure Dana White doesn't have a yacht big enough to hold this event? Just that fight? I'm telling you, it could happen.
Yeah.
Dude, they can go straight like WWF back in the day, hardcore street fighting shit or whatever. But the circle of cars.
In all seriousness, maybe if they did some unprecedented thing where they just held that fight and they flew them out to the end, like maybe. But I mean, come on, realistically, what's the chances that they hold a pay-per-view with one fight? And don't get me wrong, I'll buy that motherfucker. I'll buy the shit out of it.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, I just, like, all bullshit aside, in reality, we're not going to get that fight. We'll get that fight, but not on April fucking 14th, man.
Well, let me ask you this, because I know Ed. I think Eddie, you tweeted about this, but even with the UFC being the only show in town, it didn't do gangbuster numbers this last event, right? It didn't do that great of numbers, being the only thing that was on ESPN.
Yo, I don't know what the fuck people. We're all gonna die. What the fuck? There is a worldwide pandemic going on. Newsflash, boys and girls. Most people don't know that MMA is a thing in the real world. Now that the world is literally on fucking fire, do y'all really think motherfuckers are sitting around like, oh my God, I can't wait for Kevin Lee to fight Charles Oliveira in Brasilia? What the fuck? People, bro, it ain't no meat in my local Kroger. Like, the motherfucking people are freaking out. They're watching Netflix and shit, but in general, I mean, we're fiending for fights because we do this shit.
Right.
But Joe Public don't give a fuck about this shit right now. You know how many people watch the NBA? That it ain't like they tuned in to watch the fights now. Right. They're fucking panicking, man.
Right.
You know what the bigger problem is though, that I think Dave Madden was mentioning that Random Marcos and John McDessie, when they got back to their respective place, I think it's in Canada they both live in, they couldn't get medical attention. Not because they were sick initially. I don't know if now they're sick, but because they had been, I guess, out. And now I guess they didn't even want to mess with them, giving them medical attention, which is a big problem, especially after a fight. I mean, it's crazy.
And let me say this, as far as like Tony Habib goes, everybody needs to calm the fuck down. Listen, goddamn cocksuckers. Of course, we all want that fucking fight. But here's the reality. Let's not force it. This isn't how we want it. This isn't how the UFC wants to sell it or promote it. If we force this fight and it's just them two fighting in an empty arena, yeah, we'll kind of get what we want. But will we? Or would it have been better to just wait? If it wouldn't get us kicked off YouTube.
I think Dave's right. I think Dave's right, 100%.
Look, man. What do you think, Adam? You think we can see this fight in April?
No. I mean, considering, like Fred mentioned, right? The NFL is pretty much out of the docket. Well, I mean, they were already off season, but the NHL, the NBA, WrestleMania just got canceled or actually downgraded to the Performance Center. But from what I'm hearing, that's even a smoke show because they have like insurance policies that they have to go through. So just to appease their insurance bureau or agency or whatever, they're promoting it as a 2-night WrestleMania at the WWE Performance Center. But as we get closer to the event, it will probably be pulled off the dockets to be rescheduled in probably Madison Square Garden over the summer. And that's pretty much going to be the course of everything. The XFL pretty much, their season is canceled or postponed, as everyone is saying. Not canceled, but postponed. But the cool thing about that is everybody got paid. So all of the players, the faculty, the front office people, they got paid. That's cool to hear. Yeah. But yeah, man, it's a worldwide thing. And yes, of course, it's tough because we've got big fights on the horizon, right? And Dave Madden just said, I mean, Brasilia only averaged about 600,072 viewers. So yes, it sucks to be an MMA fan right now, but I mean, fuck, man. Imagine if you had somebody who passed away or unfortunately contracted it and they're freaking the fuck out, or anybody that has cancer or a lower immune system, it's a worldwide thing and something that we don't really have a reference for. Most people want to cite the Great Depression, but it's not like that because the Great Depression was just us. It's worldwide.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to turn this into the Corona episode because I know that's a bummer and that's all that everybody's talking about. But yeah, again, we did that. And we already done that, and we're going to do it again here soon and follow this case. But again, just quickly, this is the first time ever, I think, in probably since fucking 1918, that the whole fucking planet has the same problem. It's almost unfeasible. Like, it's not this country, it's not that country, it's not this continent. Motherfucking all of us. So as much as we love combat sports, as much as we're going to continue to do the podcast and enjoy our content, in reality, this is way bigger than all of that, man. It truly is.
You know what though? I think the only thing that filled my heart with joy was watching Sean Shelby tweet out a video of him doing the woo at the Brasilia event.
That was Maynard.
Wasn't it Sean Shelby? Oh, Maynard. That's right. Maynard. The other matchmaker. I mean, is that how we want the event to happen? Like, we want one guy to represent us all?
I blocked him on Twitter after that.
Yeah, he's gone, dude.
Fucking woo. Finally, we get rid of all these woo birds, and this cute cocksucker's got the balls on him to woo with 4 people in the stadium. Block. I don't give a fuck what he does for the UFC.
Oh, man.
No, so okay, real quick, let's talk about the fights themselves before we keep going with this coronavirus, because that's honestly what we're gonna get to in a second here. As much as we don't really want to. What did you guys think? Charles Oliveira versus Kevin Lee. Kevin Lee missed weight, didn't look great, and then got wrecked pretty good. Adam, what were your thoughts on the fight?
It's a really hard time to be a fan of Kevin Lee at the moment. Of course, the tragedy that befell, his former coach, Robert Foles, that was, a tragedy that hurt not just like the Las Vegas combat sports community, but the world over. And, in the amount of people that Coach Foles essentially touched and helped contribute to their MMA journey. That being said, it was looked like I think Joe Rogan basically kind of made the connection. Hey, Kevin Lee, you should go to Faraz Lahabi at TriStar. He goes there, and this was supposed to be his coming out party. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what's going on. And obviously, from his post-fight, comments that we might not see him for a couple of years, his head isn't in it. Now, I'm not one to question any fighter's tact because, you are a special breed of human to step into the cage, step onto the jiu-jitsu match, whatever combat sport that you partake in. But the thing about it is, I can't if somebody is out, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and their mind is not in the game, this is a serious sport with serious ramifications. And if your head isn't 100% on the task at hand, which it doesn't seem like Kevin Lee was in, then I would not like to see him do unjust damage to himself, his career, or just his quality of life if he's not fully in it. So with that being said, I mean, it's a poor performance. I mean, right from the weight cut, he's had problems before. He's fought with staff, and so it's this controversy train and what have you. I would love to see him get whatever is going on with him right before he steps into the cage again. So I can't talk about the performance because obviously, it takes a special human being, but I just want him to get right, whatever that means.
Jesse?
Yeah, I'll talk about the performance. It sucked. He didn't do his weight cut. That was already, a terrible thing. And I think, I don't think anybody has to say anything more than what, Gamebred went after him on Twitter and said, Gamebred had a lot to say about that performance and that just showing by Kevin Lee. So
and the tap. Well, he also talked about the tap. Oh
yeah, the tap, and then
keep going.
He pulled the old Brazilian tap on the Brazilian. That was crafty, Jack.
Yeah, but it didn't work this time. But I mean, if Kevin Lee wants to take some time off, a couple years or whatever, reassess, his situation or whatever, then that's what he should do, man. It's unfortunate that, now that he's got a good team under him with Faraz and everything, I mean, he had this type of performance. So I don't know.
I just don't want him to go back at the welterweight, but Fred, get him.
Yeah. No, you know what? To be honest, I didn't think his performance was that terrible.
Huh?
Like in the fight, I thought the fight was pretty competitive right up until he got wrapped up. As far as that goes, I mean, listen, missing weight is what it is. Kevin Lee seems like one of these guys who needs like a sports psychologist or something. Like, I think we all know that he has the talent, but he just finds a way to lose. I was going to compare him to Chael Sonnen, but that's not fair to Chael because he had his title shots and whatnot. But he always loses the big one. I think a lot of us thought that he was going to lose to Gregor Gillespie. And what's he do? Comes out and puts on a fucking highlight reel knockout. So then we get amped up. We give him this big fight. The fight is pretty competitive. I mean, I think who did y'all score those first 2 rounds for? I don't even really remember, but they were close, right? I don't remember them being like blowouts for Charles. Like he wasn't close to submitting him or like he wasn't hurting him that bad. I felt like they were kind of back and forth those first 2 rounds.
Right.
Well, I mean,
and then he just got caught. He got caught again, and he said he deviated from the game plan. Now the question is why? Faraz Sahabi, the hell of a coach. The first 2 rounds were going okay. Why the fuck did you rush in on a single leg and get your funny ass choked out in the beginning of the third? That's that sports psychology shit? Maybe he just, I don't know. Maybe he was weirdly looking for the quick way out or something. I don't know, but it seems like some fighters really struggle with that kind of shit. But I will say this. I won't say it's a bitch move, but boy, I didn't love that fucking bullshit afterwards. Like, I mean, I suppose maybe, listen, I haven't been choked out very many times. Eddie, you could probably speak to this more than most of us on the panel, but like, I don't know. Maybe he got choked unconscious and he woke up and dove on dude's back, but I didn't love that, man. That was, I won't go as far as old Jorge and call him all kinds of slurs and whatnot, but that did rub me the wrong way when he grabbed him afterwards. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing, Kevin? Like,
yeah, I mean, I've been waiting for someone to ask him if he went out or if anyone knows if he went out. You know what I mean? Because I can understand that. You tap, you go out, and then woof, right away.
I think that's what he said. I think that's what he said.
Okay.
I think he said that, like, I think he said, like, I must have went out because then I grabbed him and I didn't know what I was doing or whatever.
Because that's happened. Like, I've been, mid-roll, open mat something, and I feel a tap, so I let it go. And then dude drops and then pops right back up. And then we keep going. I'm like, dude, you tap. Like, relax. Like, at that point, like, I mean, once you train and everything, you just tell, someone does that, you're like, hey, you need to breathe for a second. You need to chill. You just went out a second ago. You might want to go check if you shit your pants. But, it's happened before. It happens, but
I guess I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, me too.
I suppose on that part of it. But nonetheless, Look, if he's saying he might need to take a couple years off, like as Dana White says, like if you're thinking about retiring, if you're thinking like that, I don't know about retiring, but like if you're thinking about taking some time off, you probably should take it off. Like, go get your head right.
Yeah, he's probably maybe just mentally exhausted. Adam, you have something?
Also, I was going to say, it's easy to spend the time talking about Kevin Lee because of everything. Got to give a big shout out to Charles Oliveira. How do you say that prick's last name?
Oliveira.
Goddamn. Charles Oliveira. Got to give a massive shout out to him. He's looked fucking impressive. What is this, like 7 fights in a row or some shit?
Oh, he's dope.
Finishes. So we can't put it. We can't say that like Kevin lost this fight. Charles won it. He fucking
for sure.
This wasn't an accident. Was this? He's got the most submissions in UFC history. Is that right?
I think either he's tied or he has it.
I felt like Cerrone had it, but I felt like they were giving him the accolades after that submission or something, saying that he had it. Either way, he's up there, top 3 all-time UFC history. It ain't no coinky-dink that he submitted Kevin. I mean, he's obviously a bad motherfucker. So got to give that credit where it's due too. It ain't like Kevin just lost that fight. Charles fucking won it. So
there you go. All right. Real quick, gotta catch some comments here. Jeremiah is here. You look like a magician.
And for my next trick,
oh boy! All right, see, Charles took it to Kevin. I was blown away by his confidence. Hey, welcome to the show, Kendall. Yeah, dude looks fucking.
And you know what? That's a good point about Charles. Is that seemed to be something he might have been lacking, where he did lose those fights earlier on in his career. Maybe he just didn't have the confidence and he broke a little early. I think it's time to give him a really top competitor whenever we can get back to action. Charles needs like a Dustin Poirier type character.
Well, that's what he asked for, right?
Listen, at this point, he's going to have to get it.
Yeah.
He's going to have to get it. He's a top, 5 guy, I would say. I mean, even in a stacked division like that, fucking 7 wins in a row with a submission over Kevin Lee, bro, that's got to get you at least top 5.
Right. Otis saying he has the most 14 submissions. There you go.
There you go. So it ain't that ain't no fucking coincidence, Jack.
Yeah. I've never been choked out, but I was briefly on a tablet that made me faint loads, and every time I woke up thinking I was in my bedroom. There you go. Look, maybe you tap where you did it. Shit, boy. All right. Yeah. So all right, and then the co-main event was surprising in the way it ended to me, I guess. The knockout. Damian Maia gets knocked out by Gilbert Burns. Now, we know Gilbert's got hands and he's strong as shit. But I was kind of hoping, Adam. I was kind of hoping for a grappling match. Just to see who had it better, right? We didn't get it. What'd you think?
No, man. Hands of stone. It's almost like he's taking what's his name? Ronnie Garvin from back in the days. Hands of stone moniker. Because when those things fly, like there ain't no stopping. And if your chin is on the way, lights out. So, I mean, impressive fucking performance by Gilbert.
No, absolutely. I was super impressed. They were talking about him stepping in for for Leon
Edwards. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, stepping in for Leon before they cancel the whole fucking card. And I hope they give him like I hope he has like a Jorge Masvidal moment where he just, besides Damian Maia, but that doesn't count already, has like a shocking finish and just starts getting all these fucking badass fights. I think Gilbert Burns is he's talented as fuck. Dave Mann says Gilbert Burns is such incredible escape to get it back to the feet. Right. He had Damian on his back for a minute.
Yeah. Burns is a bad motherfucker, man. But I tell you what, dude, Damian Maia has been knocked out twice in his career, to the best of my knowledge. And once was to Nate Marquardt a month of Sundays ago. But what's strange is this, knockout/knockdown felt very similar. I guess the Nate Marquardt was a straight right that felt like it landed more. But the way Damian felt was just like boom. And with this one, it was that quick hook, and Damian just kind of like he got shot by a bullet. He just fell. I was very surprised that he fell because, again, Damian Maia has taken some heavy shots from some of the best fighters on this planet. So, you know what this is for me? This is precision beats power every time, man.
Yeah.
This is why Anderson Silva was so fucking dangerous. Like, you don't really got to have a lot of power. You just got to put it right on the button. Damian Maia has took way harder shots than that, multiple harder shots than that in fights. But I guess they just didn't land perfectly on the money, and that one just landed right fucking there. It just kind of surprised me. Now, all credit to Gilbert, but I was like, damn, he fucking fell down like he got shot by a sniper rifle. That was like a quick little jab hook and shit. It just shocked me at first. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. But you know, shout out to him. To be fair, not to be a cunt or rain on any parades, but Damian Maia also said that his next fight will be his very last one. I feel like when you get somebody like that on the absolute tail end of their career, you kind of got to throw that out there. So, and he did. I think Damian said that he would like to fight Diego or Cowboy in his last fight. I think. So,
who do you give him?
I Cowboy would be funner. Cowboy would be more of a competitive matchup. But Danny Fred wants him to bring in wild ass Diego. Can you imagine how beautiful he brings that fucking crazy prick with him now? What's his name? What's that dude's name? Josh Fabia. Yeah. Oh, Joshua. Bring that fucking prick. It'll be good stuff. Because then Damian's going to choke the dog piss out of fucking Diego. Absolutely, for sure.
I definitely want a microphone in the corner if Josh was still fucking cornering that dude. Kendall says Burns managed to get Maia off his back by slipping under his hips, which is an achievement in itself. Getting Damian Maia off your fucking back. Once you have the Maia backpack, you're kind of fucked, Bill. Fucks Bill on that one, man. That's crazy.
I think it was actually afterwards. I watched the Joe Rogan and then do the fucking Fight Companion, and Eddie Bravo was on there, and he was saying going into the fight, like, listen, I'm not going to say, you know, the one thing I can guarantee you is Damian Maia will not have his way with him. He may submit him, but he will not just ragdoll Gilbert Burns. Like he was saying, Gilbert Burns is very, very good on the ground going into the fight. And then, you know, we all see what happened. Like you said, he got Damian Maia off his back, and nobody really does that.
Yeah. Dave Madden says Fabio can end the coronavirus. Oh, hold up, with breathing. 5 recovery. Seriously though, and that dude, like I've seen the videos he's had and the interviews that he's done. I'm like, why you keep giving this man a microphone? And then I watched a couple of interviews. I'm like, that's fucking why. I was tuned in to what he was saying. I was saying like, get the fuck out. You don't believe any of that shit you just said. There's no way. On some fucking McDojo shit right there.
It's like, have you guys ever seen Private Parts? The Howard Stern.
Howard Stern.
Yes.
They have that one moment where they're in the bathroom and the dude's asking, and he's like how many people are watching because they like, or, you know, he's like this number. And then he's like, and then there's a spike in numbers. And he's like, why? It's like, because they don't like him. He's like, why are they fucking watching? And it's like, because they want to see what he's going to say next. It was very much that vibe with that dude. Like, I just could not wait to hear what his next bullshit line was going to be.
All right, and then sorry, just to finish up some of these fights. Johnny Walker was incredibly disappointing. Right? Or was it Johnny Walker being disappointing, or was it Nikita Krylov just being that damn good to decision him in 3 rounds? Whoever wants to
go. I can't remember, actually, to be honest. Oh my gosh.
Listen, I'll tell you. On the last fight, I felt like you had to kind of give it to Charles or whatever.
Yeah.
Johnny Walker lost this shit. Like this,
motherfucker.
This was not. I don't want to say he was overrated, but I think that he has one of those sort of fighting styles where he either does something wild and it works, and he gets that. He's like and I hate baseball, but he's like one of them cats that like either hits a home run or strikes out. You know what I'm saying? He either fucking knocks it over the gate with something special, or it's swing and a miss every fucking time. It just so happens that the first couple fights we seen him in, we seen the absolute brilliance of him. Bro, you got knocked out by Corey Big Nips Anderson, and then you got controlled by Krylov. And don't get me wrong, those are both incredibly good fighters. But this idea, this sort of bullshit that the MMA Twitter was spewing about him fighting John Jones, I know y'all be coming for Johnny, and I know he hasn't looked good lately, but boy, that's some smoke that Johnny Walker did not want. Thank God he didn't get no John Jones fight. John Jones would have beat the shit out of Johnny Walker.
Dude, it would have been embarrassing.
We might have had actually a good performance by John Jones in that case, but I think the problem is that I think too many people threw upon Johnny Walker too much too soon, and then he got KO'd. And we know that the most fighters after their first fight back, after getting knocked out like that, the way he did get knocked out, it's never a good fight. I mean, it's rare to see a fighter bounce back and be ready to just get in the fire, right? Get into a firefight. The thing we learned, which I don't think was ever in question, is that Johnny Walker needs to work on his ground game, right? I think someone pointed it out. I think it was Otis. Like he doesn't have anything in the ground game department, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's something that we never had to question because he'd just been knocking dudes out left and right. Which is to me a reason why I don't believe in the hype of a knockout artist until I actually see them go a few rounds, actually get some wrestling in there, stop some takedown defenses, so I'm not, I don't think I was ever like championing for Johnny Walker to get in there with John Jones, but I think he had a unique style that could offer him something. At this point, Johnny Walker needs to take, like a newcomer to the UFC, take those like building up fights before he gets back in there against those top guys. Because I mean, like Fred said, Krylov's not a chump by any means, but he's also not, world beater. John Jones is his next fight type guy.
Yeah, Johnny Walker's going to have to show me something crazy before we even talk about getting John Jones ever again. All right, a couple of comments here. Dave Mann says Johnny Walker's fight IQ is -9. Very possible. And then this other gem from good old Dave. I'm just waiting for Diego to announce that he and Fair engaged.
I agree. Matching haircuts.
Hey, you might as well, man. Fuck it. We're not going to judge. We're just going to be like, we figured it was coming. Otis says Johnny Walker has to work on his grappling. My goodness, he has nothing to offer down there. Like, what in the world? And he's training up there at is he still with for us?
Yeah. For this fight, he was.
But he's big, strong, and Brazilian. He's got no excuse to be bad at grappling.
At this point, I'm like, hey, look, your job is literally to go hang out with GSP and John Danaher for the next year before you come back with your bullshit.
But I also think, sorry, Adam, but like we can't blame him for using his strength, right? Like his star quality is that he knocks dudes out. You can't blame a guy for using that to his advantage up until it doesn't work, right? Like what we saw against Stipe and Ngannou, right? Like Ngannou thought he could just lay one on Stipe, and old Stipe was going to just lay down and give him the belt. When that didn't happen, he had nothing left, right? Like, so maybe now we'll see a progression in his game, but that's the problem, right? We have to see the progression. Like Eddie said, he's got to show something good, or, I mean, it's off to Bellator.
Well, we don't need him to be pulling off no fucking, no omoplatas. Just some good defensive grappling.
Yeah,
just be able to keep people the fuck off of you and be able to get the fight back where you want it. That's all we really need. You know what I'm saying? Nice old school Chuck Liddell sprawl and brawl would work just fine.
Adam?
Well, it's kind of funny because I've always thought maybe this is an overgeneralization, but to be a Brazilian that doesn't grapple or do the slightest bit of jiu-jitsu is almost like being an Osmond or a Jackson that doesn't sing or dance. It's just like, what the fuck are you doing, right? But with that all being said, to point out what Freddie was saying about Eddie on the Fight Companion podcast, he kind of pointed out that most guys and gals in MMA train grappling wrong. They were like, oh, just show me a couple of takedowns. Oh, I'm good. Oh, this guy was a 8-time world champion and have like no backstory. It was like, well, he showed me how to roll out of an omoplata or whatever the fuck, and I'm good. And that may or may not be the correct way to do it. I mean, obviously, there was a time and a place for that. Like you mentioned, Chuck Liddell. I mean, Pat Barry, he all but retired from MMA because he didn't want to learn the ground. There was a time and a place for a fighter like that, or Anthony Rumble Johnson. But that time has gone away. It's gone by the wayside. There's so many skilled athletes, jiu-jitsu practitioners, Muay Thai practitioners, that you can't just be, just one-dimensional in your game. And it's kind of crazy in 2020 that we're talking about the evolution of the game and how everybody should kind of adopt it, because you would think high-level performers that if you've got a Bellator or a UFC contract, hell, a lights-out contract or whatever, you'd be kind of adapt to everything else, because otherwise there are other sports. There are people making money in jiu-jitsu if you just wanted to grapple or just wanted to strike. There are people doing boxing and Muay Thai really well, and you could just float over there, So it's kind of crazy that somebody just thinks that they could get by on, yes, it is a strength, but you kind of have to build upon your strength, right? Just because you've got hard hands, that doesn't mean you can't do cardio, and expect to see yourself in a title shot or at least top 10 contendership.
Yeah, but see, with that shit, that's when you're like the toughest dude in your town. Like, if you a good boxer in the UFC, and then you like, I'm gonna go box, Jack, you go get warmed the fuck up in boxing. Like a lot of guys in the 100%. UFC think they're good strikers. You take your funny ass to K1 and you gonna get lit. Now, every once in a while you have an Alistair Overeem, or there are some guys in MMA that can compete, but a lot of guys we think and I shouldn't even say that they're bad strikers. It's just a different ball game. The way you do it's different. You get over into kickboxing, and those guys are so used to that fucking rule set. They have no worry of the takedown, and they fight like that.
Right, but that's always the case, right? With specialists. I mean, Eddie, you can talk about like the jiu-jitsu tournaments, right? You see guys that specifically train, for point jiu-jitsu tournaments, others that train for, submission only tournaments. Like it's all different style. And when you're a beast in one, doesn't mean you're going to be a beast in another arena.
One of my teammates has tapped out a pretty damn popular purple belt young guy. Just came back after 2 years away in a tournament. So, if you guys can figure out who that is, but yeah, one of my teammates, huh?
Was it Sean O'Malley?
Yeah.
Okay.
One of my teammates tapped him kind of quick. But same point. MMA fighter goes into just grappling. It's a different world, right?
Right.
That being said, Sean O'Malley on the ground is a fucking monster. I would not roll with him. Okay, not for anything. Maybe in like an open mat, little flow roll, but he's scary, dude. He catches shit from fucking out of nowhere. All right. Otis says Johnny Walker should link up with Rafael Cordero and work with guys like Gaslam and Verdun.
Not a bad fucking idea at all.
Not a bad idea. I wouldn't mind him at AKA, but
yeah, AKA sounds.
Hey, here's just the sad fact of it all too, man. He might just want to holler at Bellator.
Maybe.
I'm being dead serious. Like some guys,
you may be right.
We always try to come up with this, like, and I know that's that's what we're here to do, discuss things. Like if he does this, he does that. That's right. True. That'd be a good idea. Work on his grappling. But some people just aren't good at certain shit. Like maybe the way his body works, he's just a striker. He's a dynamic striker, and he can work on grappling from here to the end of fucking never, and just never get that great at it. You know what I mean? Like Chuck Liddell's never going to be Hoist Gracie. Just would have never happened.
No, and I know he tried to throw up his legs a few times for like triangles. This didn't work out. Dude was not. He was.
And is he young or old, Walker? He's a little
young.
Older, right?
He's a pretty young guy.
He's pretty young.
Yeah, he's young.
Okay, fair enough. Right. Yeah, go to a gym like that and work with some cats like Verdun.
MMA God says Fabio will marry him just to get half of Diego's money. God damn.
No, you're missing the other one with the Cortezes. The one that I think Dave or some about the Cortezes. He's
here we go. Don't be surprised to see Diego wearing a white muumuu and Nike Cortez the next time he's on camera. God damn. All right. Hey, well, shit. All right. Oh, fuck. I had a bunch of ones. Oh, here we go. I heard Johnny Walker's allergic to acai bowls. Hey, Dave, tell Johnny Walker to eat the bowls, not smoke them. They're fucking around. He calls them acai blunts. They're just fucking around at this point.
We're going to take his fucking Brazilian card and crack it.
Kendall says, I was very entertained slowly watching Walker's mohawk become saturated by sweat and flattering out, perfectly symbolizing his performance. Well goddamn put, dude. Oh, I forgot about this. Hey, real quick, we didn't talk about this, man. Roger Mayweather.
Yeah, I heard about that. He was only 45 right?
Huh? He was young.
It's been a bad week for Mayweather, right? Like his ex-wife mysteriously passed away. We'll say mysteriously.
Right. So I heard about that. I didn't get any details on that. Like what like did they give any details?
Yeah, so she was found in her car right outside her apartment in Santa Clarita. And I believe it was actually last week, and then they're just kind of releasing details on it. And it was like late. I mean, it was like Friday or Saturday, right before all the world went crazy. But yeah, so I mean, it's not a great week, and especially the fact that Floyd actually said in an interview a couple years back that in regards to Roger, he was just like he actually performs like a 80-year-old person, not somebody that's in his 40s, and that was like almost a decade ago that Floyd Mayweather was saying that about his uncle. So it's really, really tragic. But the TMZ article that showed the initial like condolences and obituary and news breaking, it was kind of weird because they showed him at his best, and him and Floyd were hitting. I mean, he was holding pads for Floyd, and they went on a 3-minute combo session, and it was just like clack, 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 clack. And there's a rhythm to it. The way that he held pads was, I mean, it was something to behold. It was a thing of beauty. It almost sounded like a backbeat to the song, And I mean, the sports world, definitely the Mayweather camp is at a loss to, this week for sure.
Yeah, and I would like to send a special fucking fuck you to all the people. Let me tell you something, Jack. I ain't the biggest Floyd fan in the world, but boy, Twitter shows some real fucking cocksuckers in situations.
Twitter's a bunch of cunts.
You wouldn't believe the amount of people it mentions talking about the domestic violence shit. Oh, he probably beat her to death. That's what you shouldn't have. Like, yo, first off, mind your fucking business. B, like, how dare you at a time like this? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, shut the fuck up. I'm no Floyd fan, but goddamn, that man is a motherfucking Hall of Fame boxing legend, like an absolute legend, and he's alive. And the mother of his children just died. Like, you don't know what the fuck they were going through. I would never condone hitting women. He went to prison. Like, I get it, but mind your fucking business. That woman's dead now. It's the mother of his children. Like, don't stay out of his fucking comments with the domestic violence comments.
Right.
Stay out of domestic violence comments.
Right.
I guess that's the new normal, though, right? I mean, it's like Ari Shafir with the Kobe Bryant thing. It's like, well, how can we turn this tragedy into some sort of attention toward ourselves? But you're right, Fred. I mean, I was just reading that it was one of her kids that found her in the driveway. So I mean, it's really tragic.
Really?
Also,
bro.
On that, I mean, and this is me purely speculating. I know fuck all about nothing, so I'm not saying that. But that sounds like to me a drug overdose.
No, there was no drugs in the car, no suicide. So I don't know. We'll see. Well, I guess they're still working on it.
I mean, just because there was no drugs found in the car, don't mean they're not going to find none in her system. To be fair, like I mean,
you're right.
Unless she just had a massive heart attack, like you don't just randomly die in your car. She was a younger woman. What the fuck? Like, so something had to have happened.
Yeah. I'm looking up details right now. I don't see anything. Go ahead, Adam.
Well, it's kind of crazy, going back to Roger, because a lot of people kind of judge, Floyd in his latter part of his career. They criticize him for not taking hits, right? Not fighting a fight, you being a defensive fighter, right? But don't you think he saw, some of the ramifications that, his dad and his uncle were going through? That he was just like, you know what? I'm not going to get hit. And if I can get as much money or even, 3 times as much to talk shit a little bit, well, I'm going to do that, Absolutely,
man. And Floyd's on record and saying his 2 biggest, like, training inspiration, taught him everything he knows, is his dad and his uncle. Roger and what's his dad's name? Floyd Sr.?
Floyd Sr., yeah.
He always says those are the 2 cats that taught him the most. I think when he's mad at his dad, he says that Roger taught him the most, like vice versa, whoever he's fucking with that motherfucker. Like, it's known that those 2 men taught him everything he knows. And no matter who likes it, again, me being one of the people that don't like it, that did criticize him for how he fought, he still went down as the most decorated fucking boxer of all time. And he whooped our boy's ass. I know it was in a boxing match, but he whooped Connor. What are you gonna do? Like, fucking the man.
But that's the point, right? Like you said, Fred, he learned from other people's mistakes. He's wise enough to have known that, if he went down the road of, taking these fights that would put a lot of damage on his brain, eventually he would turn into his uncle. And I imagine that, he's not the smartest guy, in other aspects, but at least in that, he knew to preserve his brain well enough to be like, I want to be able to be, functional and like not be an 80-year-old dude, before my time. So smart.
Right. Just looking at the latest on Josie Harris. There was no anyway. So this is at TMZ.com. Quote: Mayweather had publicly accused Harris of having a drug problem in the past, but we're told officials did not find any drugs or evidence of drug use when they looked through Josie's car. We're also told there was no suicide note. It does not appear she intentionally took her own life. Now the case is in the hands of a medical examiner who will evaluate the results from the autopsy, including toxicology, to determine the cause of death.
I mean, like Fred said, just because they didn't found it, she could have had some extra partying before she got home and tried to finish up the drugs before she went into her house, and too much is too much.
Did they say what Roger Mayweather passed away of?
I don't know, but he's been in bad shape for a long time, Jack. Like he's I don't know exactly. It didn't say, but like he's at least his makes a little more sense than he's been physically declining for a long time.
Yeah.
I believe it was early Tuesday. Early Tuesday is what I believe.
Okay. All right. Well,
either way, fucking sad for Floyd. One of, if not the greatest boxer to have ever lived, is going through it. And then listen, he's also living through this corona shit. So fucking shout out to Floyd, man. You're not the fucking most loved guy from this podcast, but goddamn it, I feel really bad for you, dude.
And people, let this man fucking grieve. All right, let this motherfucker grieve. Don't go out his ass. And look, first of all, he ain't reading your fucking comments anyway, you dickwads. All right, but at the same time, the same thing with the Kobe thing. When Kobe passed away, and everyone was just like, "Well, the rape and the rape and the rape and the rape," and that's all they fucking talked about. It's like, dude, he's not reading your shit. He ain't here no more. No one's reading your shit. You're just a cunt. That's it. You're just showing yourself to be a cunt. That's all it is. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion on that.
Don't be like the Florida kids right now, right?
Oh God. Jesus Christ! I'm so glad I'm not there or from there. He also said, "Did anyone else hear the rumor that there's a pretty well-known UFC fighter being paid to stay out of the media because of brutal CTE symptoms?" No.
What?
I didn't know that. But...
Is there a name attached to this rumor by any chance?
That seems a little
I didn't hear anything at all.
That seems a little weird. Look, the UFC's got all kinds of guys out there. Chuck Liddell, and most of them sound a little wishy-washy, to be fair. I mean, you can't keep these guys put away forever. So
I was going to say Chuck Liddell or Diego, but Diego's been doing shit.
To be completely fair, what we going to do? Blame it on the UFC? I mean, it's also like, what are we supposed to do? Put them in headgear? I mean, like at the end of the day,
you signed up, man.
Yeah.
Eddie, keep going through the comments. Somebody is throwing out shade at our favorite person. Our favorite MMA person.
I got you. People have been stop blaming shop stupidity on CTE. That guy's been dumb as a rock his whole life.
Hey man, I'm starting to think. Look, Shab's all right. Yo, Shab gets a lot of unwanted, fucking unneeded hate, boy.
Right.
Like. He says some stupid shit, but like I've actually been watching Below the Belt lately. Yeah, he's not very funny.
No, he's not.
He's not like we be giving it to Shab, dog. Like he is the laughing stock of our group, and I'm like, he ain't that bad.
Look, Fred. I don't watch any of his stuff. I just get the clips from I think it's Borja Shinya Depot on Twitter, and that dude just makes it seem like he's the worst person. He's worse than freaking what's his name, Screaming A. Smith.
No, he's not. No, he's really not.
There's nobody worse.
Nobody worse.
I love Boranchina, but if I was Brendan, I'd be getting his ass kicked off of Twitter. Every time I make a misstep word, this cute cocksucker has it on Twitter 30 seconds later. Like, God damn, you talk on camera for 5 hours a day, cocksucker.
I mean, some of them are pretty funny though. Like, my favorite ones are the math ones. They're hilarious.
Hey, to be fair, he is a fair player though. It isn't just Brendan. He be killing Tito too, boy. The moment Tito says shit, right there, Tito say some goofy shit.
You know what, though? I mean, I'm thinking about it. I mean, if it's not Diego, it's got to. I mean, my money is on Stipe. And there was a lot of people talking before the DC fight that he was slurring his words. And if you look back to whether it be the countdown or the embedded leading up to that fight, he's always kind of had a bit of a slurred speech. But if you go back to some of his fights prior to the UFC, I mean, it wasn't unintelligible. It's kind of there now, where you can't decipher, and it's not like a Midwestern draw or anything like that. There's a delayed, slurred speech going on there. So, I mean, and he hasn't been in the media lately. So, I mean, my money's on Stipe.
Listen, it's definitely a Midwestern draw, Jack. Stipe motherfucking grew up about 3 hours from where I'm at. He's supposed to sound like this. Stipe sound like a fucking punch-drunk Chuck Liddell.
Him and who used to talk? Because I've spoken to Justin Gaethje when he used to be at
that too. Yeah.
Before PFL was World Series of Fighting. I covered his 2 fucking like brawls with Palomino here in Phoenix. And I talked to him afterwards, and I remember asking, I forgot what I asked him. I forgot the question as soon as I said it. As soon as he started talking, because I was like, holy shit, dude, you're how young, and you're already like, please tell me this is a speech impediment.
But that dude at least has said that he's signing that check for his brain damage for his family. Like, he knows what he's in for. Like, I could respect a guy that's like, you know what, I'm sacrificing my brain for my family. But like a dude like Stipe, who's a firefighter, who doesn't even need to be fighting really to be like a hero. Like, that dude's a real legit dude that runs into a flaming building to save people. Like, if he gets CTE, that's just sad, dude. Because it's like that's a waste of a good human being right there.
Yeah. Hey, man, one time I interviewed Justin Gaethje. Me and Aaron interviewed Justin Gaethje. He was on Stand and Bang one time.
Yeah.
So we did long interviews, dog. I think we talked to him for either 30, 45 minutes. And it was like fucking pulling teeth until the last 5 minutes. We was like, all right, Justin, I think he did 45 minutes because he was supposed to do an hour. We were doing hour episodes. I think he did 45. He had to go a little early because he was going turkey hunting. And I was fucking so over the episode anyways because we were getting trashed. I was like, all right, Justin, well, looks like it's about time to let you go. You said you need to go a little early because you guys are going turkey hunting. Don't you know this cute little cocksucker rattled off for 50? Oh, you're going to go hunt turkey. We're going to use this one. So it's one of those deals. You just got to ask somebody something they're interested in. If you're talking about like, fucking the intricacies of shit, like he's just not with it. He was just or to be fair, he could have just been bored by it. But when we started talking about turkey hunting, boy, he was off to the races.
Yeah. Was that the same thing with the Matt Brown? I think the Matt Brown episode was kind of like that. They didn't want to talk about this and that until you asked him about Dimebag Darrell, and then he went off.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Matt Brown almost seemed a little annoyed with the interview. Kind of. To be fair, he was coming off a loss, and it was one of those deals like, "No, we'll talk about that fight." He's like, "I don't want to talk about that. That was a loss." It's like, "All right, well, looking forward to your next fight. I don't want to talk about that because I don't want to give away my game plan."
You didn't want to talk about anything.
Wait, Fred, what would you say your favorite interview though was Efren Escudero from the beach? Wasn't it Efren?
Yeah. It's like hello. Are you in a fucking tornado?
I was fucking dying laughing, and when Aaron obviously Aaron was telling me you and Aaron were telling me about it before we went live, like right after you guys did that shit. And I remember going like, I can't believe you guys even went through with that shit. That's crazy.
Why? One time we interviewed Rich Franklin right when he became the president of fucking This motherfucker was in his car, dog, and I don't know. He must have been in San Francisco or the curviest place in the world because all we kept hearing click, click, click with him fucking turning on his turn signal.
Yep, over.
Over. You're killing us here, bro. You're killing us.
Dude, and when you guys were doing that, I was still driving around a lot for where I work. And now I'm kind of admin, but I was driving around a lot, and so I would have you guys in my ear. And that episode drove me insane. It's like click, 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 and click, click. I'm like, dude, holy shit, where are you going? And obviously it wasn't live, it was recorded, but I was like, God damn. So yeah. Anyway, all right.
He was hold on, wait a minute. I got this.
Go ahead.
He was promoting this shit, dude. The only reason he came on our podcast is because he was promoting this fucking shit called like Armor All gel or some shit.
Yeah.
And it was this gel that was like a magic gel. Apparently, it was so like if you had a cut or an abrasion, you rub it on it. A little skin graft, you rub it on it. And check this out: if you had a bellyache, just a little shot in the thing, cure you right up.
What?
Some bullshit named Armor All or Armor Gel or some shit like that. Really, it ended up being some bullshit because he was making it seem like he was going to take the world over. It was a cure-all for everything, even your bellyache.
I remember that shit. And I was kind of like, yeah, okay, dude. It never took off. That shit went fucking backward. Didn't he have like a juice bar or something? Or was that somebody else?
No, that was him too.
I think that's still
Yeah, the
going.
juice bar.
No, he sold that to go to one.
Ah,
Yep.
let's see how that
Is he
works out.
still at one, or was he doing now? Anyone know?
He's still at one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Damn,
Okay.
see, man, I can't even think about China without thinking about that shit no more. I had forgot about it for a brief moment. Then y'all brought up one, and I was like, ah, shit, Corona.
Yeah, there you go.
We're all
Somehow
about
we made it all the way around. All right. Real quick, let's talk about canceled events, because obviously the next 3 are canceled the fuck out. London's canceled. Let me pull it up real quick. So
Canceled or postponed? Did they actually use the C word?
I mean,
okay, look, man, they're not saying canceled, but how are you gonna postpone these fucking events that goddamn long? You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
we have a triple fucking event weekend. So anyway,
yeah, we're gonna have like a Bellator weekend where like Friday an event, Saturday an event, Sunday an event.
Because that goes well for Bellator. All right, so it says canceled on here, so I don't know, but the word they used was postponed. The Woodley Edwards card that's supposed to be this weekend, postponed. The Ngannou Rosenstruck fight we were all waiting for, postponed. And the Overeem Walt Harris fight, postponed.
Good Lord.
And right here, the one card we're waiting for, UFC Africa or whatever they're gonna fucking do. Khabib versus Tony Ferguson.
Open water. UFC open water.
Go on to the next one because that one's canceled too. When's the next one?
Hold up. Next one is that next weekend. Anthony Smith, Glover Teixeira.
That one's canceled too.
Bro, they can just cancel that now. I don't give a fuck about it.
Look, hold on. I'm being dead serious.
Go ahead.
Keep going with the schedule. Like I do not think that event happens for sure.
Okay. All right. Let's keep going. May 2nd. Emerson Weidman.
No.
Okay. UFC 250, which I believe is the Henry Cejudo Jose Aldo card. May 9th.
No, I don't think. I mean, I'm being dead.
In Brazil.
Stop right there. Do any of you guys think that this whole Corona shit is done and that sports are actually happening at that point? I think no fucking way.
I think by 250 they'll be talking about starting to slowly bring things back without fans. That's what I think. They'll at least be talking about it. I don't know if it'll happen, but I think they'll be talking about it. What else we got? Let's see the next one. Saskatoon. Oh, this card's not even fucking like developed, so it doesn't even matter.
Okay, so we're getting into here anyways.
Fred, let me ask you this though. So do you think that what they're gonna do is a lot of these guys, because I just saw a list of a few people that are no longer on the UFC roster. I think Tysonov is on there. There's a few names that, you know, I mean, I guess on a losing streak, whatever, you can get fired. Sucks to get fired right now. But do you think that what we're gonna end up getting is later on down the year, hopefully, they'll have a big event with what used to be like a throwback card where we'd have the main card with a bunch of fights we want to see, some of those prelims with, you know, it's going to be a super stack card where they're going to have to put a lot of people on that first card.
Well, here's the deal, dude. All bullshit aside, again, not trying to fucking make it serious or keep talking about this Corona shit, but like real talk, I think it's going to get a lot worse before it starts getting better. I don't think that this is going to be the demise of humanity, but people have got to fucking wake up to the fact that this shit is really fucking serious. And every day that we wake up, it's worse and worse worldwide. Right. We will get a hang on it, but it's going to take a while. So, excuse me. June or July.
That's Kirby coughs.
June or July.
Oh, God.
All y'all motherfuckers that get the Corona fucking with that. You understand me? God damn it.
I'm sorry, dude.
I think if we were so scared, you motherfuckers in the virtual comments are like, hey, shit. Jack, off, Jack. I think June or July at best before we start having sports again. So there's a couple things to think about there. A, the end of the year is going to be fucking lit because the UFC, by law, has to give fighters a certain amount of fights a year. Now, I guess this is a pretty unique situation, so they might be able to be like, yo, homeboys, we didn't think the whole world was going to shut down either. But I think come June, July, August, If we all play our cards right and we actually get rid of this shit and Earth gets back on the right fucking track in 3 or 4 months, you're going to have a ton of guys that need and want and are dying to fight and get paid. And I'm talking about everybody from John Jones to fucking Joanna Jędrzejczyk, even with her fucked up ass hematoma tit having ass. Like, everybody is going to need to fight. So I think best case scenario, and that's what I kind of meant about Khabib and Tony. Do we force it now, or do we just, again, the Kenny Rogers reference, boys and girls, you got to know when to hold them.
Yeah.
Know when to fold them. We got to fold this shit for a minute. Got to fold it for a minute. And then come back strong as fuck in the middle or late summer, ready to rock, ready to pack out arenas where everybody's fucking safe. We're fucking celebrating because we beat the motherfucking coronavirus. The whole fucking world is going to be lit as fuck once this shit comes and goes. Wait for that time and then just come in, make the, what we call it, the third quarter, make that shit the best third quarter we've ever fucking seen.
Now we've heard. I know. Me and Fred talked. Fuck, we're in Corona thing now. Me and Fred talked about it on Monday. Me, Fred, and Jeremiah, friend, and I talked about it this Monday. Adam, I don't know if you got on any podcasts and talk about like what your view is of the coronavirus and everyday life, or just like MMA in general. What do you think?
Well, you know what I'd like to see happen to kind of echo Fred's sentiment is the fact that, I mean, UFC Fight Week is in the middle of the summer, right? We make it an actual fight week where Monday all the way through Sunday we have big fucking fights. Just, you know, because, I mean, obviously this is something that we've never seen before. This is unprecedented. So we need to kind of make up for it in an unprecedented manner. So I hope that we get one full week of fights. Yeah, you could get burned out, but if it works, I mean, this could be, you know, like a 1 to 2 night, 3 night thing. Obviously, usually they do like the finale for the Ultimate Fighter or whatever, but I mean, their viewership has dropped considerably, you know. But if you want to tuck some of those fights on those B-rated, C-rated, you know, Fox, you know, Saturday cards in with those and make it compelling, you know, bring up your numbers. So I would like to see a whole week of fights via the UFC, you know?
Right. Yeah, I mean, look, man, it's I remember they used to do, you're right, they used to do Ultimate Fighter and then the Ultimate Fighter finale, a fight and then a pay-per-view, and they did it like twice, didn't they? Like 3 events in a row,
and then,
2 events in a row.
Hall of Fame too, somewhere
in there. Yeah, I remember that shit. I used to get burnt out though. Like literally, like a week or two later, I'm like, I'm ready for a break. Y'all need to take a fucking week off.
Yeah, but listen, fucking fuck, I can't think of the turn of phrase, but we're gonna miss it. We're gonna miss it a lot.
Oh yeah.
Back, we're not gonna be able to get enough of it. What the fuck?
Right. You see Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm not against that at all.
It makes the heart grow fonder.
Yeah. Oh wow, someone's going. Check this out. Kendall says, "Yeah, I'm in London, so we're 3 weeks ahead of the rest of the of England, and they have 20,000 troops on standby in case riots cause the economy is frozen."
What?
Yeah, the UK.
I didn't know they had that.
I have heard. It's not good, boys. Like it's not good. Like everybody definitely is going to have to fucking really chill. I heard that Spain is 2 or 3 weeks away from being worse than Italy. Like I think a major football team over there that's like it'd be like 40% of the Dallas Cowboys having it.
Yeah.
Look, Fred, sorry to interrupt you, but the video that Eddie posted or reposted on Facebook about his friend, your friend, right? Your comedian friend having it.
Yeah, Christopher Royer, yeah.
If you guys want to really freak yourselves out, go watch that video and understand that that's the way we're handling the situation here, which is not really addressing it and not really trying to worry a lot of people about it. And that's not going to work, you know, and just watching that video will probably freak you out, but you got to understand that the precautions that everybody wants you to take, which is stay home. Only the people that are in like the service industry should be out doing anything. I mean, it's important to listen to those things. Don't be like Florida. And just because you had a spring break, you're going to go to Florida, which now they're closing down the beaches and they have patrols to get everybody out and not doing this stupid stuff, but it's not working.
Them nasty little son of a bitches.
Dude, I don't
They're
get it.
all down in fucking Florida. And guess what? The problem with that, the fucking major problem with that is all those cute little cocksuckers are getting shipped all over. None of them live in Florida. They gonna get shipped all over the fucking country and take their disgusting little corona fucking virus breathing diseases back. I mean, dude, this is going to be real bad, man. This is going to be a complete shit show. Again, I'm not saying we all going to die, but bringing it back to our sport, MMA, and the things that we like, I think we got to really start being realistic about when we're going to get back to that. Like, it is not going to be a 2 to 4 week process. This shit's going to take a while to get back good.
No, 100%. I mean, as we're on right now, I'm getting a message through a Facebook group that I'm on that one of my friends, I mean, they're shutting down his Best Buy because somebody there, a Best Buy in West Hollywood, essentially had the coronavirus. So they shut everything down.
Yeah, the mayor of West Hollywood got it.
Oh, hey,
I'm telling you, man, stay inside, bro. Inside, going outside. Hey, you got Uber Eats. Hey, Uber Eats, drop it at the front door. Don't be trying to fucking hand me shit.
And again, this is a worldwide problem. Like, that can't be stressed enough, man. Like, everybody kind of depends on each other. It's real easy for us to just be like, well, once we get America under wraps, which is going to be a fucking shit show to do, but once we do, we still get fucking imports from all over. Everybody's like, oh, we got everything from China. We get a lot from China, but it ain't just China. We get shit from Brazil. We get shit from India. We get shit from all fucking over, man. Like, there's gonna be no fucking bueno. We get a ton of shit from Europe.
Y'all know why some of us are probably might be immune now? This right here, son.
You're funny. Don't spread. Don't be Eddie Bravo. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Look. It's serious because I mean, like Eddie and I, we're in an industry that it's kind of essential for us to still be around. But everybody else, man, if you don't got to be outside, you don't got to be doing anything at the stores. Just stay home, man. Enjoy some Netflix, TV, play some board games, talk to your family members.
They shut down my jiu-jitsu academy. They shut down my gym that I go work out at. You know what I've been getting really good at besides working out at home? Fucking Fortnite. Me and my 13-year-old been playing rounds and rounds of Fortnite with the time I'm normally at the gym at, motherfuckers. All right. I'm going to make $1 million with one of these kids, motherfucker. I'm telling you.
It could be worse, man. That is true.
It could be way worse.
It's actually kind of a very strange thing to think about. Like, the whole world is terrified, but yet we have running water, electric, and Wi-Fi.
All right.
It's a very strange thing.
Well, you know what's crazy? So, I mean, we just got an email that all of LA County, they've pretty much suspended the entire school year. No school.
Yeah.
At all. So it's really crazy because again, you can't really compare it to anything, and this is a worldwide pandemic or epidemic, and I don't think that the world that we're going to step into, whether it be 2 weeks, 2 months, or maybe September, right? The world that we're going to walk into because of the precautions that need to be kept ongoing. Right. It's going to be very different than the one that we have now. But I think it's kind of crazy, right? Where, I mean, if Flint, Michigan couldn't have running water,
right?
How the hell are we going to get this in order where it's far bigger than Flint? It's weird.
Yeah, dude. Real talk. Like, again, this won't be like human beings extinction, but this is going to change everything moving forward. So many people that are worth billions of dollars will not be after this for various reasons. I mean, this is going to be something that we will all like. This is going to change the fucking planet. Like you said, might be 2 weeks, might be 4, might be fucking 40. But no matter what happens, shit will not be the same after this, no matter what.
All right, so gonna catch you with some more comments and then we'll head out of here because we're running out of time. But this is the weird one that I didn't hear about. Don't order stuff from Amazon. Mad employees got that shit mailing out with your case of toilet paper.
Just so you know, the virus cannot be on cardboard. I believe cardboard and like cotton. So if it comes in a box, you're good. Plastic, maybe Lysol it off.
Go ahead.
No, that means I'm safe. So cardboard, cotton, I'm good.
There you go. No, but you know what though? I want to know who the fuck is doing these tests. Be like cardboard. Now we're good. Cotton. Now we're good. Plastic. Oh, don't order that shit.
I ain't ordering a goddamn thing off of Amazon or from nobody. I'm not fucking around. I got my dried beans in there. Got me a little herb. Got me some whiskey. I'm fucking good. I'm not fucking around outside.
Man, I recommend getting an industrial accident, suing, and retiring as a career. All right, here we go. Let's end on an MMA note.
Okay.
Otis says, "Who's your loser of the weekend, and how is it not Damir Hadzovic for not only getting some submitted in less than a minute by Renato Moicano, but then calling for a rematch immediately afterwards?"
Yeah. Let me go first before Fred gets too crazy.
Okay.
I say the loser of the weekend was the fans because it was all decisions, and for a card that's probably the last one for a while, we all lost.
Okay,
I agree.
There you go.
100%.
All right. Fred?
Okay, ultimate loser of the weekend. For me, I think it's hard to say it's not Kevin Lee. I feel like he had the most to gain this weekend and fucking it really went down the fucking shitter for him. But honorable mention to the cute cocksucker that got, I think it was I can't say his name, but the cat that got submitted by Moicano, and then after the fight, Moicano was like, I just wanted to fight more. And he was like, well, you shouldn't have submitted me then.
Yeah.
Shout out to you for keeping the buck.
Yeah. No, exactly. All right. Let me check the headlines real quick. I don't know what these websites are gonna fucking put up.
There are no headlines, Jack.
There are none. And it's like Ashley Evans Smith talking about UFC London. Okay, let's end with that really, really quickly. Adam, these fighters aren't going to get the fight in the next 3 weeks. We know how, even though these fighters aren't going to get the fight in the next 3 weeks because of these UFC events, right? That are getting canceled. I mean, what do you?
It's not just the UFC.
Right? Like, how do we? Like, we know how Dana White is cheap as fuck and doesn't want to pay anybody. You know what I mean? Like, should they get paid? Well, I believe they should get paid, but should they get paid their at least some money, if not, at least their purse for, because it's not their fault.
I know. I like that. I mean, obviously the UFC is a lot smaller of an organization than the NFL or the NBA or what have you, but they don't be mistaken. They do have the money to make that happen. So,
right.
It would be a good gesture, but then, if we're looking at history, right? I mean, this is the same promotion that moved, a card from one state to the other. And one of the champions that were fighting on the card, Amanda Nunes, was like, hey, because of California's taxes, I'm not going to be able to buy my wife the car that I wanted to,
right.
So this is the same company. Now, obviously, there are times where Dana and the crew can surprise you, but I mean, I haven't seen that happen, I guess, since the Reebok deal. He hasn't been as fruitful to the fighters on the roster. Although there was, that Curtis Millender knockout, his debut in the UFC, and Dana White cut him a check right there. So, but that's one time out of 3 years that I can remember off the top of my head that's happened. I'd love to see it happen. It'd be a goodwill gesture, and especially the fighters that were flying over to London for the London card. Most of them were stuck there. So it'd be nice to have a little bit of collateral, just to kind of, weather the storm, so to speak.
There you go. All right, guys. Anything else you guys want to hit before we get out of here?
Nah, I think that's about it. Listen, we're still going to make the podcast happen, Jack, but we're going to have to find some shit to talk about because, again, we're not going to have MMA for a while, man.
Yeah, we're going to have to figure something out. What's up?
I did want to plug, not to contradict Adam there, but if you can go on, what is it, Zadim Sports? Eddie, you remember the guy that was investigating the whole Kadyrov stuff?
Right.
He wrote something for Bloody Elbow talking about how Endeavor has basically drained the funds that the UFC would normally have to be able to pay out these guys. That's why the UFC hasn't really come forward and said that they're going to do what Bellator did, which Bellator actually has cash in the bank, basically, to be able to pay these guys their show and win purses.
Right.
And that's why the UFC depends so wholly and why they want to have these events go off, because they depend on that money coming in.
Right.
So if you guys are more interested, it's a Bloody Elbow. I hate Bloody Elbow. Just to throw it out there, but I think it's a Kadeem or something like that. He's got some great articles that he writes. So go check him out. If you want more information on that. So other than that, go back and watch Monday's show that these guys did, the Hick, the Spick, and the Prick.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Close enough. Yeah. No, and real quick, at God's MMA on Twitter. This man is doing quarantine and MMA. What he does is he picks an event and he syncs up with everybody, right? And then just talk about it on Twitter, wherever he does it. So at God's GODS MMA, I followed the UFC 100 one from. I only caught on to the co-main because I had to go out and do stuff, obviously prepare and shit. But I watched the last two, and that was actually kind of fun to relive some of the more classic cards and stuff like that. So highly recommend following this man. And then I don't know how often you do it, Gods, but you should definitely like tweet the shit out of that thing. Oh, look, Liam goes, and I'll answer this question. Can Eddie show videos on here? We could watch some of those fight videos we also see on Twitter and talk shit or something. We could do that. I just have to figure out if we're gonna get pulled off of, like, it can't be anything like copywritten, like UFC, Bellator, any of that shit. But maybe like a street fight thing. Who knows? Maybe. Well, I'll work on it.
We could do. Yeah. We could narrate some street fights. That'd be kind of fun.
There you go. All right, we'll figure something out. And then ELC, yes, I will tag you in the next video. More than likely, will be in the next couple of days. It'll be me, Jeremiah, and Fred again, talking more craziness, because there have been developments in the last day.
And I've got a homie that lives in Tokyo, Japan. That's going to join us for a minute, so we'll have a perspective from over there as well.
Right. So we're trying to just figure this out as we go, man. Adam, anything you got going on coming soon, and of course your social media stuff?
According to Woods, on literally everything: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube.
Oh, wait. Before he plugs his stuff, he has to solve a problem that we talked about earlier before we went live. Adam, how dare you not follow back Fred or Eddie here?
Wait, no, that didn't happen. For whatever reason, okay, I am Twitter inept. And I hit the damn accept button because apparently my Twitter is locked. I don't know how to unlock it. Hopefully you guys in the Keyboard Warrior universe can help me out, because I don't know how to unlock my Twitter. I don't. So I pressed the accept button and then nothing. And I was like, what in the hell? So I didn't know one way or another. So my bad, you guys. I am absolutely sorry, but if you could like hit me a DM or whatever, and we'll figure this out. But damn, that sucks. I'm a douchebag.
No, I figured something was weird, because I was like, I know we followed each other, but because I was gonna send you the link through there, and then like I was like, oh shit, what the fuck happened? So fair enough. So we'll figure it out.
He can get past, but for the rest of you son of a bitches, if I see that I'm following you and you ain't following me back, you're out of here.
Yeah, Fred was talking about that. You can see MMA guys do toe touches in a green Borat thong during the quarantine fights. There you go.
Oh.
But here's what I was talking about. He says, we've been doing Fight Pass 24/7. You guys have Fight Pass, you go on there, the first thing you see is a 24/7 thing. They just have shit streaming. I don't know how they pick it, whatever, but that at least you can click on it and you're pretty much automatically synced. So make sure you follow, and then use hashtag quarantine and MMA. So make sure you hit that shit. Oh, look, you have a fan. Kendall says, I like according to Wood. That's what a wholesome guy. There you go.
So are you. Thank you, Kendall, and so are you. Yeah. These guys are too.
Ain't nothing wholesome about me, baby.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Of course, according to Woods on pretty much everything, right? And then
pretty much.
Yeah. That's one Sport 1983 at Kirby_MMA at Ela32. And of course the show KeyboardWarriorsMMA.com. Shout out to RepTheWarriors.com, SpicyPros.com. All right, love the fuck out of all you guys. Everyone that tuned in. ELC was here.
Out there, people.
There you go. Stay safe, stay clean. ELC, Teo is here. Kendall, welcome to the family, I guess. Make sure you just keep coming back hanging out with us. Liam, Otis, as always, MMA gods. Fucking everyone that tuned in today. Appreciate the fuck out of all you guys. Amusement, my boy Brando. All right, catch you guys sometime later this week. I'll tweet out the link.
Yeah, and then also, Free Admission Media, the Gym Crushers podcast. Free Admission Media, literally on everything. We stream on Facebook and YouTube on Tuesday nights at 7 Pacific Standard Time. So there's that.
There you go. All right, folks. Catch you guys later this week. Good night. Good night, Wilshire.